Silence is not weakness. It is power. In a world where everyone is fighting to be heard, the quiet person often carries the most weight. The Stoics understood this long before microphones, meetings, and timelines ever existed. Epictetus warned that it is better to stumble with your feet than with your tongue, because words once released can never be called back. Silence, however, is always a choice. It is restraint. It is mastery. Look around today. Noise is constant. Opinions are thrown around carelessly. Everyone feels pressured to respond, to explain, to prove themselves. And yet the strongest people in the room are usually the ones who speak the least. Not because they have nothing to say, but because they know when silence serves them better than words. Imagine being criticized unfairly. You've put in the effort. You know the truth. And yet someone tears you down in front of others. Your chest tightens. Your mind races, preparing arguments, explanations, defenses. This is the moment most people fail. They react. They raise their voice. They try to win. But the person who pauses, who stays silent, instantly shifts the balance of power. The critic expects resistance. They expect emotion. When none comes, their words lose force. In that quiet space, you decide whether the criticism deserves attention or dismissal. You keep your dignity. You keep control. Now imagine a different scene. A room full of people. One person dominates the conversation, listing achievements, money, titles, victories. They speak loudly, often, desperately. The room listens, but something feels hollow. You sit quietly. You don't interrupt. You don't compete. You let the noise pass. And without saying a word, you reveal something powerful. You don't need validation. You're not chasing approval. Your confidence doesn't require witnesses. Silence, in that moment, becomes a quiet form of authority. There are moments when anger tempts you to speak. When someone disrespects you, misunderstands you, or pushes your limits. Most people respond immediately, driven by emotion. But silence buys you time. Time to choose restraint over regret. Time to let the emotion settle before it controls you. Often, the strongest response is no response at all. Not because you are afraid, but because you refuse to be dragged into chaos. There are also moments when silence protects your plans. When you're building something important, sharing too much invites doubt, jealousy, and interference. The Stoics believed in moving quietly, letting actions speak later. Progress made in silence is harder to sabotage. When success finally appears, it needs no explanation. And then there are moments when silence reveals truth. When you stop filling the air with words, you start to notice what others reveal about themselves. Their insecurity. Their intentions. Their character. Silence sharpens awareness. It turns listening into a weapon. This is the hidden strength of silence. It is not empty. It is deliberate. It is chosen. It is the space where self-control lives. In a world addicted to noise, the person who masters silence stands apart. Calm. Unmoved. Unshaken. Silence doesn't mean you have nothing to say. It means you know exactly when words are unnecessary. When you don't feel the need to compete, people notice. They sense that you're not chasing approval. You're comfortable in your own skin. And strangely, that quiet confidence earns more respect than loud words ever could. You let your actions speak. Your work, your character, and your consistency do the talking. Boastful words fade fast, but dignity stays. There are moments when anger rises. You can feel it in your chest. Your thoughts speed up. Sharp words are ready to come out. Epictetus warned that it's better to stumble with your feet than with your tongue, because a mistake can be forgotten, but words spoken in anger can leave scars that last forever. This is where silence protects you. When you pause instead of reacting, you give yourself time to think. You stop the situation from getting worse. You protect your peace. Silence in anger isn't holding things in. It's changing anger into clarity. It helps you ask what really matters, the argument or the relationship, pride or peace. Anger always passes. But words spoken in rage can destroy things you can't fix. When you stay silent, you walk away with dignity and control. Sometimes lies and rumors spread about you. People talk. They twist stories. The urge is to defend yourself immediately, to explain everything, to fight back. But Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the best response is not to become like the person attacking you. Truth has a way of showing itself over time. Silence, paired with steady actions, often speaks louder than any defense. Think of a respected teacher or leader. When false stories spread, they didn't argue with everyone. They kept living with honesty and consistency. Slowly, the truth became obvious. Silence in these moments isn't weakness. It's trust in time, in truth, and in your own character. When you don't sink into every argument, you show strength. You refuse to be pulled into the mud. There are also moments of deep pain and loss. Losing someone you love. Losing a dream. Losing a part of your life you can't get back. In these moments, words feel empty. Advice doesn't help. Explanations don't heal. Silence does. Silence gives you space to feel, to breathe, to accept what has happened. The Stoics knew that suffering is part of life. It's not something rare. It's something we all face. When you sit quietly with your pain instead of running from it, you allow healing to begin. Silence doesn't erase the hurt, but it changes it. Pain becomes understanding. Loss becomes strength. In grief, silence can carry what words cannot. Then there are insults. People speak badly about you. They mock you. They try to provoke a reaction. Epictetus taught that insults only hurt us if we accept them. Another person's words cannot touch who you truly are unless you let them. Think of leaders like Gandhi or Nelson Mandela. They faced insults for years. Yet they rarely responded with anger. Their silence showed maturity and strength. When you respond to every insult, you give power to the person attacking you. When you stay calm and quiet, you rise above it. Silence here isn't giving up. It's self-control. A calm look, a quiet smile, or no response at all can say more than 1,000 angry words. That's real confidence. So what does all this teach us? Silence is not empty. It's strength. It calms conflict. It shows confidence. It protects peace. It guards dignity. It holds space for healing. And it proves maturity. The world pushes you to always reply, always explain, always fight back. But wisdom often lives in stillness. The person who controls their tongue controls their life. Here's a simple challenge. This week, choose one moment to practice silence. When criticized. When angry. When insulted. Pause. Breathe. Say nothing. Feel the power of restraint. Silence doesn't mean doing nothing. It means choosing wisely. And in that choice, you find freedom. If Stoic wisdom helps you grow stronger, walk this path with us. In a noisy world, stillness is a quiet superpower.